Hi everyone, my name is Vance Anderson. I am the Entre Musician, and so are you. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Entre Musician. This is the space where we concentrate on the mindset, discipline, and focus of the Entre Musician, and today's episode is no exception. I'm a 50-year plus tour manager, audio engineer, production manager for several great artists, culminating in 20 years with the iconic Tony Bennett. For the past 9 years, I've been managing the extremely creative artists known as the Well Pennies and their Golden Bear Records label. In my segments, we're going to explore all aspects of management. Now, Webster describes management as directing and controlling a group of people or an organization to reach a goal. It's vital that the manager and the artist are of one accord, with the same vision of the end result, with the same vision of that goal. My particular style of management you could call a democratic one, where I and the artist share the role in the decision-making process. This, I believe, builds trust and respect, which are two paramount elements to any relationship. Trust and respect, remember that. Paramount in any relationship. Now, whatever kind of manager you are, or whatever kind of manager you require, be it a tour manager, a production manager, or an artist manager, this goal is the same. In short, to provide a platform that enables the artist to fly. I'm going to repeat that, very important. Our job as management or support staff is to provide a platform that enables the artist to fly. That is, to take away all uncertainty about everything, leaving the artist to concentrate on their gift, on their ability to go out and entertain or write, record a hit song, hopefully, to paint a beautiful painting, to dance a wonderful dance. Some simple examples as a production manager. Now, every theater is different, every backstage is different, every stage entrance is different. But a production manager's responsibility is to create a situation where the artist, once he's in the wings, doesn't have to think about the stage, doesn't have to think about, is he going to fall off the stage or trip over a monitor or any of that, because everything is set exactly the same every single day, no matter where the theater is. In Tony Bennett's world, for Tony, every day was Carnegie Hall. That's how he thought. It didn't matter where he was. It didn't matter what kind of venue we were playing. To Tony, every day was Carnegie Hall. For us, every day was Carnegie Hall. And that's how we presented Tony. As a tour manager, your artist arrives, he doesn't want to be thinking about, is the hotel room going to be ready? Is the car going to be there? Is the plane going to be on time? Or any of that stuff. All they need to do is to just travel. It's just to go. The tour manager's responsibility is to have all the logistics together and to have plan A, B, C, D, and E, et cetera, in place. So that if there should be any kind of hiccup, you seamlessly go from one thing to another and the artist is completely unaware. Now, no one person can be good at everything or able to deal with everything. It takes teamwork. Very important. You may be a great creative artist, but to get your music out there, to promote it, to market it, it takes a team. One very important act of the manager is to recognize their own weaknesses and to put together a team of people who are expert in those weaknesses. Teamwork is vital. For instance, if the venue, ticket sales, and marketing department haven't done their job, guess what? There won't be any audience. If it has done its job, it doesn't matter how quickly the venue is sold out or how big the star is. If the limo driver didn't show up, the artist isn't going to make the show, etc., etc. Remember this, you're only as strong as your weakest link. Now, that's an old adage and it's been said a million times, but boy, is it true. You're only as strong as your weakest link. Now, here's a caution. Whatever part of the creative process you decide to be in, whatever part of this process you're involved in, be sure of this. It is labor intensive. It is 24/7. This is a lifestyle. This is not a job. And having said that, a very proactive and vigorous work ethic is required, and I would say essential by both artist and manager if any kind of success is to be had. So, apart from talent, here are 5 character requirements to be a successful artist or manager. And you can put them in any order you like, it doesn't matter, because they're all so intertwined. So I'll say, number 1 is persistence. This is the quality required, which allows someone to continue to do something even though it's difficult and or opposed by others. Straight ahead was my mantra with Tony every day, all day. Straight ahead. When you come with this goal in mind, when you have this perspective and the way to move forward, you cannot allow people to knock you off your course. You have to be persistent about your plan of action, about your way of approaching things. Number 2 goes hand in hand with persistence. It's called passion. And I mean it, an intense driving force, a conviction that the path that you're on is the right one and that the course of action you're taking is the correct one. As I said before, people will try to divert your attention. People will always come in with their opinions about what you're doing and the way you're doing it. And you have to have a total fixation almost on your course of action. And passion will take you further than obligation in this process. To have a passion for something means that no matter what gets in your way, you're going to drive forward and move forward. So persistence and passion hand in hand, it's the same thing. 3, very important, patience, a calm endurance. There are so many obstacles, so many highs and lows to overcome all day long. And the more calm and focused one can be, the better for everyone. Nobody wants a manager that is freaking out and jumping up and down. Nobody wants an artist that's complaining and whining and no. We have to stay focused. We have to be calm. We have to endure the obstacles that come in front of us, and they are many. And with the persistence and with passion and with patience, we're going to stay focused and we're going to move forward. This is really important. This also goes completely hand in hand with number 4. Oh boy, here it is, discipline. And I'm not talking about punishment or penalties. I'm talking about the need to develop self-control, to impose order on oneself. This is so important because in this business, artists are so vulnerable. Their emotions are raw and open. They're pouring their hearts out. They're singing songs that they've written or interpreting to get to the deep root, and it's a very open and vulnerable place. So the most important thing is to be calm, is to be patient, calm endurance, patience, and discipline. To be a star takes a lot of discipline. To be a star means you have to work all day long, all night long, with real focus. Tony Bennett really knew what it took to be a great artist. Not only as a singer, which he was, a great interpreter of song, not only as a painter, which he was, a great painter, and a very celebrated painter, very pleasing to look at his artwork. But he also knew what it took to be a great artist. He knew what it took to be a celebrity. He knew that he had to turn up and do all of the interviews and all of the appearances that it took to be a successful artist. So discipline. 5 is a sense of adventure. Being an artist or a manager is exciting, but we got to be bold because it's a risky business and the outcomes are totally uncertain. We can work so hard towards something and sometimes it comes to fruition and often not, it doesn't. But that's okay. If we have that sense of adventure, if we have that passion and persistence, we're going to carry on through. We're going to make it in the end. Now, I worked with the exceptional, iconic artist Tony Bennett for 20 years, from 1991 to 2011. I was his tour manager and production manager. And Tony loved to work. And for many years, we would perform 200 shows a year, plus film projects, TV projects, recording sessions, book signings. And as I said before, Tony is a very celebrated painter. So we did art shows and exhibitions. And just every day was packed with incredible things to be done in the creative process. Now, in 1994, when Tony won Grammy for Album of the Year for Unplugged, we were on the road that year for 320 days. Yeah, highly intense, yet amazing 20-hour day, 20-year experience with Tony. First time I met him was at the 10th anniversary of the Blue Note Jazz Club in New York. Tony had been booked for the whole week, and I think the show started on the Wednesday, and on the Thursday, I got a phone call up in Boston where I was living, asking me to go down to New York and take over as his tour manager and sound engineer, because he had had a bad situation with the previous guy and fired him on the Wednesday. And I was called on the Thursday to go down. I couldn't go down the Thursday, but I went down on the Friday. Now, as the band had already played 2 nights there, everything was in place. There was no need for a sound check. And so I got down there early, checked out that everything was working, but I didn't get to meet Tony or the band before the first performance. They arrived like 10 minutes before they went on stage because everything was in place. And the only opportunity I had to introduce myself to Tony was in the break between the 2 shows. So in the break, I went up to the dressing room, up these stairs, 2 dressing rooms on an upstairs floor, and I knocked on the door, and I went into Tony's dressing room. And I said, "Good evening, Mr. Bennett. My name is Vance Anderson. I'm your new tour manager." And Tony said, "Call me Tony." And then he said, "Make it look effortless." Wow, what a gift that was, because instantly I understood the premise and how I was to proceed. And that's what we did. He, renowned for his effortless style, and we, his support team, going about our business with maximum intensity, but the minimum of fuss. Now, to be a successful tour manager or manager at that level, one has to be hyper vigilant. And I'm not saying that in the negative connotation of the word, but in that elevated state of constantly assessing everything going on around you and being prepared and able to seamlessly switch from one scenario to another without missing a beat. And really, isn't that how we should live our lives anyway? Being fully engaged? I work with many amazing artists and have so many stories, many experiences that I'm really happy to share with you. Maybe give you some insight, maybe help you avoid some of the pitfalls. So let me pose a couple of questions to you. What are you, artists, looking for in a manager? What is it you think you need from a manager that would really enable you to move from the present position you're in and move forward? And then question 2 is, what do you think a manager is looking for in an artist? What is it that would inspire a manager to devote all of his time, effort, energy, and resources into working with an artist? 2 good questions. I'm looking forward to your answers. I encourage you to communicate, ask questions, go to the Entree Musician, click on and ask questions. It's such an incredible resource. The Entree Musician is such a very well thought out and very well put together resource for all, for everyone involved in music and all the creative endeavors. Join us at theentremusician.com. Click on the Backstage Pass to subscribe and tell everybody you know about the Entree Musician. My name is Vance Anderson. I am the Entree Musician. So are you.